Hello Cancer, welcome to your monthly chakra healing video for the month of July. I have so many things to talk to you about for this particular season. So we are going to get started. You guys have quite a bit of things going on, and there's a lot of stuff going on in your energy. And listen, at the end of the day, we're going to break it down, and hopefully we can get through the season together and move into the next thing in a positive direction. Okay, so I'm just going to move your oracle cards, and then we are just going to break down your chakra cards, and then we are going to bring back in your oracle cards and just talk about what is going on. So, okay. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff going on, and I feel like you guys have a lot of cards that jumped out initially from the get-go. In your root chakra, you have the Wheel of Fortune, and it's definitely, I feel like you know that you feel the shift of what is happening. You feel the movements that are happening externally. You do feel like there's things that are getting implemented right now, not only with your life, but with everybody and how it affects everybody, because it's your season. So your season is also affecting and creating change for a lot of people as well. You have the Empress and the Five of Wands with the Five of Swords in your sacral space. Your solar plexus, you have the Knight of Swords. Your heart chakra, you have the Queen of Cups and the Chariot in reverse. Your throat chakra, you have the Devil in reverse, as well as the Hierophant and the Two of Cups in reverse. You also have the Two of Wands, the King of Swords, and the Eight of Swords in your third eye. And for your crown chakra, you have the Seven of Pentacles. Now, I feel like for you guys have gotten to the point in this particular season where you're going to have to address some very traumatic relationship issues. I feel like, especially the way your sacral chakra is set up, because there's a lot of trauma there, you guys are going to see that there is some issues that have been brought up from the past, whether you have let go of a relationship or you are just now finding out the truths of some past relationships that you are kind of having to deal with. Like you thought that this situation, you had moved on from it, and now you are like still having to deal with that same energy, and it's just coming up in a very, very frustrating way, where it's kind of like you're finding something new about something that you thought was already done. And it's kind of like, I feel like definitely 100% this is a third party situation. I feel like you're gonna find out that if you ended a relationship maybe a month ago or 2 months ago or something like that, you're gonna find out that that person that had had some sort of lies or held back some truths from you in regards to somebody else. I feel like there is definitely some anger, some issues, especially with the way your solar plexus, you have the Knight of Swords coming up, and the Knight of Swords is very aggressive, very harsh, very direct, and very, very it's just, there's definitely nothing being held back with the Knight of Swords. Like, Knight of Swords is the most aggressive card in the zodiac. He wants to get his point across, and he's going to do it by driving a whole sword up in your face. And I do feel like you are having to kind of direct that energy a lot to your past and to those relationships that you've had in the past, that you trusted, you confided in, you grew through, you released in many ways, and now you're finding out all of these little things about it that's just kind of looming up to the surface. And you see that with your heart chakra, with the way you have the Queen of Cups and the Chariot there in reverse. You're finding out that you're also like having moments of kind of looking back and saying, you know what, my intuition told me that this wasn't right. My intuition told me that there was some issues here. You're just looking back and looking at how time's passed, and you're like, I kind of felt something maybe in this moment. There's a lot of reflection that's happening, especially with the retrogrades. They're definitely 1000% affecting you and your relationships and the dynamics of your relationships. I feel like there are arguments rising. There are like just, there's a lot of kind of frustrating relationship energy for you guys, where it's just, it's a little bit more chaotic, and it's something that if you had to, if you knew what you like, if you knew then what you know now, it's kind of like you would have maybe reacted a little bit different, and you would have addressed certain things a little bit different, but you didn't have that specific opportunity to do so. It was just, you went through it, you kind of did what you had to do, and then you moved forward. At the end of the day, though, you have to look at where the energy is and how it's being blocked for you. So with your throat chakra specifically, you know that there are certain things that are affecting the way you're communicating. I feel like this month specifically, you are going to definitely be looking back at your relationship dynamics, those moments where, you're going to be digging in a little bit deeper of the truths that were hidden from you, the things that you didn't know were happening in the background, things that you didn't even you couldn't have necessarily fully saw coming, but you were getting glimpses of it throughout the whole entire thing. And if you look at your third eye with the Two of Wands and the King of Swords with the Eight of Swords, there is this kind of energy of you releasing it and moving forward in a different direction, because in your throat chakra, the way that it was set up, and you're now seeing all the darker aspects of this relationship, all the darker aspects of this connection, and it's just so frustrating to you how much was buried that you just could not see with this relationship. It was just something that was it was literally traumatic. It was in many ways very much traumatic, and the pain that you're processing now can be traumatic. So you also have to be mindful of how you are taking the energy in and how you are healing from it, because if you don't properly nurture yourself during this time, you're going to burn yourself out with all of the pain and all of the aggression that you're feeling through your solar plexus. I do feel you can see yourself liberating yourself from this energy. It's in your third eye right here. You do see yourself liberating yourself and moving forward. And that's something that you see yourself having that clarity. You see yourself being more stern, more disciplined, pulling back a little bit. But right now you're definitely knee deep into the emotions, into kind of being upset, being angry, kind of lashing out, being a little bit temperamental. There's a lot going on for you guys. I feel like Cancer season for Cancers it's definitely, it's a lot. This season is a lot for you guys. I would highly recommend taking a weekly spiritual baths every single week. I think you guys need to be consistently doing some cleansings, meditations, and also working with your ancestors as well to help you move through this energy, because you're gonna need assistance to help you break through this, and it's in the cards with that Eight of Swords. You're gonna need assistance. You're gonna need a little bit of help to do it. And with your crown chakra, with the Seven of Pentacles, all you have to do is set the intention for that to come in, so you can be released from it at the end of it. So let's just look at your bottom of the deck. You have the World. Well, starting off with the Emperor, the Page of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, and the World. So there is a karmic lesson that you're learning from this. This is something karmic. This is something that you have now needed to process so you can move on to the next thing. This is a lesson, and you know how Saturn does with the World card. This is definitely 1000% a lesson, and now you are able to kind of move on and progress once you address each separate chakra, each separate issue for what it is, because each separate chakra needs a different type of healing this particular month for you guys. And so you have to hold space for yourself. You have to say, okay, no, I'm just going to pull back a little bit and address it. Now, for your Oracle cards, you have Bold and Courageous. You have Awakening and Transcendence. And I feel like that's coming up for you guys a lot, especially because you're seeking freedom. And you have that flow of prosperity coming in as well. So don't sleep on the energy. There's a lot of things that are still coming in. This is definitely an end of an era, okay? Because this is a major thing that you are having to release and let go. You have courage, because it does take a lot of strength to process this stuff. and you have realizations and epiphanies, because again, you're having those moments where you're like, whoa, my intuition told me this and I didn't listen. I didn't listen. Why didn't I listen? Oh my God, I wish I had just listened that time and I wouldn't be going through this right now. And you also got sobriety, because you are kind of detaching from this toxic energy and you're kind of sobering up. You're seeing it different. For your planetary energies, you have fire and water. And this is 1000% really what's going on with you guys. You guys are feeling a lot, but then you're also fired up and angry. And how you're reacting is 1000% like what you need to address, because the way you react right now, the way where you put your intention, which is your solar plexus with that Knight of Swords, angry and bitter and annoyed, and you will kill anybody right now, that's not productive. So you have to make sure that you're doing what's best for you, because if you don't do that, you're going to slip up and find yourself getting out of the season and moving into Leo season more annoyed, more in pain than you actually should be. You should be happy at the end of the day. And I feel like once Leo season, things might come, like things might be a little bit more light and a little bit more airy for you, and you might feel a little bit better. But until that happens, you do have to kind of go back to what you need to do. You need to sober up. You need to heal these wounds. You need to make sure you're mending your wounds and not like moving forward with like all of this pain bottled up inside. You have to address it, because at the end of the day, you still have that prosperity coming in. You just have to set those intentions for it and then work towards it. But you have to heal up first. Okay. So that is your reading for this month. I will see you guys in the next one. Do not forget to subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell so you get notified anytime I upload a video. Don't forget to check out the Patreon as well, because we're always learning and growing over there. And I will see you guys in the next video.